Uh, Protons, electrons, spirals. We getting it in. Girl, your wish is my command. I submit to your demands. I'll do anything. Girl, you need only ask. I'll make love to you. Does you want me to? And I hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I make nothing. Nigga start doing anything on this bitch. And I will let it go, and you tell me to, baby. Them boys to man. Yeah, them boys to man. Boys to man. Yeah. Let's get it on, man. The secret science of black and male female sex. Spot. This is a good one, family. Look. Listen. This is it. He's talking about waves. He's going into protons. He's going into electrons and some other quantum shit. I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll win. Them boys used to sing in the 90s. What? Nowadays? Bitch, meet me at the club. Let me get some of that ass so I could go back to my wife. Niggas doing all kind of ratchet shit now. God damn. All right. So it says all things in the universe travels in spirals or waves. Uh-oh. Chaos in the blood, baby. Watch this. This is going to be good. I'm just going to read it, and then we're going to dive deep into the fold. All things in the universe travels in spirals or waves. Energy does not express itself in natural linearly, in nature linearly. Okay, so there's no straight lines. Ugh. No straight lines. We're talking about spirals. We're talking about oneness. We're talking about yin and yang circles, right? Y'all know I did a thing on spirals. Well, I did it a long time ago. I might have to do a refresher. But we did a thing on spirals when we was dealing with quantum about 3 years ago when Quantum Mania came out and all that other stuff. Spirals on the trees, spirals in your fruit, blah, 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 on and on and on. Energy expresses itself in such forms as microwaves, infrared, X-rays, gamma rays, light, radio waves, VHF, and UHF colors of the spectrum, etc. All energy must adhere to the same laws. Electrons revolves around the protons. Okay, so so when you look at an atom molecule, I wish I could have probably put up a picture if I knew we was gonna go this deep. But it's all good. Y'all know what an atom looks like, and you know that the atom is spiraling around that nucleus, right? Or the electron is spiraling around the nucleus, right? And that electron is just jumping into the nucleus and coming out with a form of light, which is your electricity, which is what making you move. Look, you live in that invisible light. This is all scientifically fact. That invisible light is what you're programming to create the reality that you're seeing today. So now we're talking about inside out. We're talking about the inner world. We're talking about the mirrorverse, right? Whatever you believing in your heart and your being, who you are and how you see yourself is actually reflecting to you in this outer world, in this illusionary world we call the third dimension. So now it's just up to you to be able to understand that your thoughts are powerful. Your thoughts are a must, right? To consciously, listen to this, to consciously think positive thoughts. You feel me? Because again, I get it. You know, the struggles of the day come on, and it feels better to bask in the negative thoughts or the low vibrational or I can't do it feeling, right? But if you're trying to become something new, if you're trying to be a wealthy person, then you got to see the brighter side of things so that electron can be programmed with information that shows the brighter side of you winning. And eventually, just slowly but surely, just be patient with the third dimension as you're still going through your pitfalls of whatever reality that you're in. But you have to be it before you physically be it. Okay, it says molecules revolve around other molecules to create elements. Elements revolve to make gases, vapors, and mass. The moon revolves around the earth. The earth revolves around the sun. The sun revolves, and so on and so on. Nothing in the universe is standing still. Everything is in constant implicit motion. In the previous chapter about melanin, we discovered that the spiral or curly structure of Black people's hair is the optimal instrument for picking up and receiving energy in nature. Okay, cool. So, I talked about this a million times. Your energy is your inner God, right? Cool. So now the melanin that you're secreting is going to help you be the person that you're claiming to be, one, but two, when you put yourself in the situation, is going to activate you to create that particular reality. So sometimes you just gotta put yourself in the environment, right? With positive thoughts, because you don't want to put yourself in an environment with negative thoughts, because then that's when you fall victim to the fray or to the fear. But if you can, consciously stir up the energy to see it heavy, then your melanin will work for you. And then you'll be like, damn, I'm in this bitch flowing. Wow, this is a piece of cake, baby. It's going down. You feel me? And and that's the key. That's what we want to understand. So for instance, when I did the Master Student Conference, right, I could have seen myself bombing on stage heavy, right? But I didn't. I seen myself winning, positive thoughts, positive, positive outlook. And I went up there and wrecked it. Went up there, was silly as ever. You feel me? Felt comfortable up there. Really wanted to keep on going, right? And if y'all ain't seen the Master Student Conference Patreon family, go see it. It's in the video clips. You can see it for free in the collection tab. Just go to Master Student Conference, the first one, and then watch how dream work, baby. You feel me? So before that, though, I was seeing myself being funny, having a good time, expressing myself creatively and expressing the information importantly. Boom. Sure enough, introduce people, D-Ray, Conja Queen, Mook, Brother Yosef, Will, Trav, right? Introduced them all in a whatever thorough way, cool, had a good time, masterful of it. So now we just got to understand that to the core. That's how we're expressing our truth. You feel me with that? Okay. Its spiral or kinky structure has the same structure and formation as all energy expressed in its natural state. Thus, Black people have the ability and potential to access many more frequencies in nature than non-melanated people. So life experience for Black people are richer, more fulfilling, and contain infinite possibilities, which are not accessible to non-melanated people. Now, I was telling y'all, Patreon family, TC Carrier keep on getting on this Black versus white thing, which, cool. That's his truth, cool. But you just need to worry about you and accessing the information for you. So now that you got this neuromelanin inside of you, understand that it's the venom. So think about the movie Venom. Venom is actually going to come online for you, right? To defend and protect your spirit, essentially. You feel me? So when you see the movie Venom, he was protecting the dude when he came out. He's like, hey, I'm tearing this thing up. All he had to do is place himself in the environment. And then, sure enough, melanin just start activating. Y'all know when that stress response come up, you rise to the occasion. Winning time, baby. You feel me? So now it's just about putting yourself in the position and then also activating your pineal gland over and over and over, family, so you can have stronger, more prophetic experiences with your feelings. Because when you're in the space, right, when these uncomfortable situations, because again, the uncomfortable situation is what's leading you to get the bag or what's leading you to bring more wealth to you, right? They get a movie, Limitless. When he took the pill, he still had to interact with people all the time, right? He had the party being the life of the party. The CEO dude sees him, says, "Hey man, I just want to offer you a job just because of your personality." Didn't look at no resume or nothing. Just his personality alone. Like, yeah, you're gonna bring me some joy in my life. So shit, let me offer you a job. You feel me? Boom, long story short, he got offered more and more jobs and shit, he's in his bag. It says, so life experience for Black people are richer, more fulfilling, and contain infinite possibilities, which are not accessible to non-melanated people. In nature, the lower the frequency, the lower the vibration. Low frequencies can be identified by their big looping wave structure. The physical dimension houses the slowest frequency, and the spiritual realm contains the highest frequency. Okay, so remember, Earth is considered hell. Hell, which is the burning flames, which is fire. Your root, sacral, and solar plexus, right? Which is the color of fire. Cool. Now, if this is the slowest vibration, right, possible, dense, which doesn't allow you to move and be in spirit, inspiration, right? And the biggest play is just motion, in spirit, inspiration. Then what you need to do is raise your vibration, raise your frequency so you can stay in motion, in spirit, inspiration. So you got to think about it. Heaven is a joyous, blissful state of mind, right? Hell is you being the shell of yourself, addicted to low vibrational stuff. Don't have no uh, sitting in a burning flame, just sitting there, perishing away. So you want to understand that the concept of high vibration is you actually activating your motion. So that can be as small as, see, the thing is, I think it has to be big motions. Like you have to go out and go to a class. I just be making examples like that, right? Cool. There can be subtle motions that actually impact your day. So now let's say you do YouTube because that's the one that's I can relate with, right? Instead of you doing one YouTube video a week, right? Your spirit moves you to do four a week. And it's easy, it's effortless, right? Because your spirit is high. So now all of a sudden, you was just doing one video every 2 weeks, but now you figured out a time slot to get up, get moving, and now you're doing four videos, 30-minute videos on YouTube a week. Which 30 minutes in your day is what percentage of your day? You feel me? So now all of a sudden you got to look at it and say, and now the videos you post on your YouTube channel, boom, bring you more and more opportunities to acquire wealth and whatever. Da, 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 da. But if you're not in spirit, then you say, oh, you'll feel unworthy of putting down the videos because you're tired after your job, right? Now you just sit on the couch and just dwindle away and say, I'll do it another day. Chaos in the blood, baby. Hey, I'm just telling you what it is. So when I first started YouTube, right, I was already in my work, heavy spiritual work bag, boom, boom, boom. At first it was uncomfortable. I was trying to figure out the YouTube thing with just my voice and talking without things. Then I started making the scripted videos. Then I started making them faster and faster and faster. People loved them and loved them and loved them. All of a sudden, freedom rings. All them scripted videos I see me do 7 years ago, whatever, with the funny sound effects and all of that stuff. That's just me coming from work, putting it in, putting in a quick video. The video didn't take that long to make, right? Boom. Shit, I just drop it. You feel me? 20-minute video or whatever it was. You feel me? Or no, them videos were like 5 minutes. But it took me like 20 minutes to make them because, you know, you had to edit it and stuff. So now, boom, me doing them 5-minute videos back in the day with, y'all know, them sound effect videos and all of that stuff, right? Moves me closer and closer to a reality that, you know, or that I'm in right now. I did it. I did the alchemy. Chaos in the blood, baby. So, you know, apply that to whatever you're going through in your life. I just relate with YouTube because that's how I did it. You feel me? So you just got to apply it to everything. The velocity has to be slowed down in order for the energy to exist in the physical plane. So the lower the frequency, the bigger the wave of loop pattern, and the future apart the spirit or God is expressed between the loops. This low level energy represents our lower animalistic desires and thoughts. Higher frequencies, on the other hand, can be identified by their rapid or quick, smaller loop patterns. The higher the frequency, the higher the vibration. Okay. So that's good. So now that higher loop pattern, right? Higher vibration, faster. Boom, what you get? Moving fast, you thinking faster, moving faster, and receiving your channels and downloads faster. Remember them kids in middle school? Remember in middle school, your partners and shit, they used to flow and shit. You'd be like, God damn, these niggas magicians in this bitch. And they on beat, everything. Beating with your pencil in your hand, and they just had the flow rhythm. Right? And they was gone. Freestyle, H-Town, baby, right? Cool. How, nigga? These niggas got big, drank, weed, slow down vibration. You feel me? Now they barely can breathe. They're having a hard time breathing. They just having a hard time walking, let alone flowing, freestyling. You feel me? So now we got to understand that even what you're putting in your physical vessel can speed you up. Because this is about, you know, success loves speed. And speed is just about your ability to think quicker, receive your channels quicker, and then create without any emotional ties to your creation. It could be a work of art that's patience, that's attention to detail, but that's you seeing the visual of the artistry coming into the fold with the delicate details, with the subtle plays and information, because you're moving so fast you damn near slow down the light of how you're seeing it. So what's the girl, the Money Long girl, she says her music be patience, be really thought out, be, you know, projected out from her mind in such a way that it's art. It's basically art. Somebody like Future though, right? Sometimes he would say he used some of them drugs to stimulate a faster response. But shit, just like McDonald's, 1,000 served, fuck it. He put out some and then one of them catch, two of them catch. And now he's perceived as a monster because he got three hits on one. He has, let's say he catches three on one song, one CD. Well, them three go out of control, and boom, there you go, Future. You feel me? Okay, here we go. This higher level energy, it represents our higher spiritual selves. One is able to recognize the omnipotence of God at a more frequent rate. So, by this knowledge, one can determine that in order for a person to transcend beyond the physical plane and after death, one has to acquire enough velocity in their lifetime to escape the physical dimension. A person acquires enough velocity through participation in higher level energy and thoughts. This leads that person down the righteous path, the path to open higher dimensions in the spiritual realm once one leaves the physical body, otherwise known as death. Okay, so cool. So now understand this, right? When you transition, you can be reincarnated based off of you're not thinking fat or you're not conscious enough, right, to be able to observe yourself as a spiritual being. So you might, when you transition, not y'all because y'all are spiritual beings, hopefully, but you might see yourself as still human and be reincarnated, walk back into a light, and all of a sudden you're in another baby, right? And you wouldn't even know it. So then the reincarceration cycle starts again. And now what's gonna have to happen is you're gonna have to figure out how to get out and shit. You better hope somebody come along with some spirit. But now you know the information is spreading a lot. So now is there's a mass awakening happening. I still say it's 100 years from now, but like all that religious indoctrination church stuff is dying off quickly, right? Not quickly, not in our lifetime, but sure enough, 100, like some people think it's gonna happen recently. I believe like 200 years from now, niggas is gonna have this mass awakening as we go further and further into the age of Aquarius, where they start to realize themselves as a spiritual being having a human experience, and this earth is actually a trap that's keeping them encased in physical bodies over and over and over again. Chaos in the blood, baby. So now understanding yourself as God is not only you manifesting your reality, but understand yourself from a whole nother cosmic level of consciousness. There's a lot of us. This is our last ride. Some of us, y'all might have to come back. The Earth is trapped inside a vacuum in space. In order to escape, we must acquire enough velocity to break the gravitational barrier that keeps us in this physical dimension. Raise your vibration, and one raises their velocity. The root word for gravity is the word grave. So, in actuality, we are experiencing the death of the spirit, otherwise known as the physical dimension. The physical dimension is the graveyard of the spirit. Our spirits contained in our physical bodies are consumed by the effects and the laws of the grave or gravity. Okay, another thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of times the moralism or you believing that you have to be some kind of upstanding citizen is fucking you up. There's Christians that are very good people out there, right? You believing that this is about any kind of moralism is going to keep you entrapped. So I want the family to understand to the core, this ain't about no good deeds. This is about you becoming more and more aware and raising your vibration to the point of the love for yourself is beyond any kind of outside reality that you're trying to portray. So that's what's actually happening when we're talking about higher level of consciousness. There's some just think about Bobby Hemmett, right? Think about Brother Panic. Think about even some of these different uh uh spiritual people that, they hey, their level of consciousness could be at a level to what I'm saying, whatever, right? So we got to understand that the judgment of how this thing looks doesn't have anything to do with no moral soup or code or you being a good human. You feel me? That's going to keep you entrapped and ensnared because, again, and now there is a byproduct of that. I'm not saying it won't, like, you won't have love for others and stuff like that, right? But the idea of just behaving good is a problem that I see because you're not actually raising your vibration. You're just becoming a good moral citizen in the form of the Christian motif. And that's fucking niggas up. Our spirits contained in our physical bodies are consumed by the effects and the laws of the grave or gravity. In order for one to be resurrected from the grave, called the physical dimension, one needs to raise their vibration in order to escape the grave gravitational pull that was designed to trap them here. Love is the highest vibration and fear is the lowest. The chemical melanin in people of color is the key to reaching and acquiring higher vibrations or frequencies, which are necessary for resurrecting one's spirit from the grave of the law of gravity. Wavelength is the distance of one full cycle of the oscillation. Longer wavelength waves, such as radio waves, carry lower energy. This is why we can listen to the radio without any harmful consequences. Shorter wavelength waves, such as X rays, carry higher energy, which can be hazardous to our physical bodies because our bodies vibrate at such low frequencies. Okay, so remember the light spectrum is the colors of the chakra system, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet, right? Boom. All of a sudden, that's as far as you can see from that light spectrum color spectrum, right? In order to escape the prison, you're going to have to scrape the seven, which is you escaping the light frequency, essentially, raising yourself out of the seven or the seven C's, the seven emotions, the seven chakras, which is you just dealing with your emotions, right? So now, remember, God is the seventh letter in the alphabet is G, and G is God, right? But remember, God is a concept of this physical third dimension. You're a God having a human experience in the form of, you're the king and prince down here. Cool, right? In order to escape that godhood, you got to be what? A chaos being. That's beyond God. That's beyond the physical dimension. That's beyond all of this shit. So chaos beings, which you are, is the beginning to all the alpha omega, the starting point of it, right? And chaos, remember, is just the potential energy you have inside of you. So you having the potential to be who you want to be and know it is the real true G card power that you possess. When you understand that from such a cosmic level of light, then you escape the matrix. Because again, you had the potential to do as thou wilt, right? And understanding that is being understanding of you being a cosmic being instead of a human being. Okay, it says the chemical melanin in people of color is the key to reaching and acquiring higher vibrations or frequencies, which are necessary for resurrecting one spirit from the grave or the law of gravity. Wavelength is the distance of one full cycle over the oscillation. Longer wavelength waves, such as radio waves, carry lower energy. This is why we can listen to the radio without any harmful consequences. Shorter wavelength waves, such as X rays, carry higher energy, which can be hazardous to our physical bodies because our bodies vibrate at such a low frequency. These shorter wavelengths are hazardous to our physical bodies. We are only able to decipher and communicate with shorter wavelengths within it in the spiritual realm. Our physical bodies cannot hold the information contained in these short wavelengths, so the body goes into overload and starts to turn on itself. To enter the realm of higher frequencies of energy, we must let go of our physical bodies and the physical realm. In other words, we must stop defining ourselves and our reality through the laws of the physical world and start to focus and invest our time and energy in our spiritual selves. The same is also true of sound. The higher the frequency, the higher the note sounds. We cannot hear higher notes because our fit because our physical ears cannot decipher higher vibrations. Imagine the sound we will be able to hear after we leave our physical bodies in the spiritual dimension. This is what we describe in the Bible as the trumpets sounding in the opening of the gates of heaven. Okay, so damn, I hope y'all can see these damn lines. Fuck it, I might post a picture of it, Patreon family, because this light is trying to fuck it up. It'd be kind of hard to understand without seeing it. So yeah, understand to the core, right? That when you do raise your vibration, start loving on yourself more and more and more, and understand yourself from a cosmic place. Now, this human is what we call the nothing or being Mr. Nobody, right? And in being Mr. Nobody, you're everything everywhere all at once. So you have to be able to understand that you have the power, right, to not only move in a particular manner on this earth realm because you are nobody and you don't care about the glamour or the human uh, uh, interactions and stuff like that or the judgment. You're more in the space of understanding yourself from a God level, from a gnosis level, of self love. And in that, you gain it all. So think about the movie Fight Club, right? Boom. Whole world ended and he was free. So that's the same thing with you. Bobby did a video on this. What he said? He said, I wish I was homeless. And then the crowd looked at him and he said, nah, I'm just kidding. But them niggas free though. They free as a bird. You feel me? And as y'all can see, Bobby is free. If love can be seen as energy, it would look like the higher vibration of smaller, more frequent waves band closer apart. Love would look like the last wavelength at the bottom on the illustration. The opposite of love, which is fear and not hate, would look like a lower vibration frequency or bigger loop that are farther apart. Fear will be the first wavelength or the first line in the illustration. Picture yourself as a horizontal line that dissects both wavelengths right down the middle. The person exposed to the higher frequency of love vibration will dissect each wave numerous times. This person will be wide open in receiving all the energy that is around him. This is why people who are experiencing love are always smiling, walking on air, smelling the flowers blooming, hearing the birds singing, and are very jovial and full of life. The love energy vibration is bombarding their senses at such a rapid rate that they experience being high on life. They are able to experience and recognize God more frequently in their everyday lives. Okay, so remember the love frequency is the spiral, like faster spirals. The fear and hate frequency is a straight line, right? So you're resonating faster and faster with the world and with yourself, right? So for instance, when I came on here, I just started singing out of nowhere, right? That's because I'm in love with myself and I'm in the place of power, right? That's speaking to, hey, it is what it is, baby. I recognize myself as a god. I recognize myself as a winner. I don't mind being silly or making fun of myself, right? If you ain't smiling, you dying. See, we see the idea of it is not why so serious, right? All this serious mumbo jumbo thing that people are trying to put into the lexicon of your minds is fucking y'all up into making this harder and harder and harder. Raise your vibration and be one in peace with where you at right now, and have fun while you're in this peace. So, because again, it's about you understanding that you're bigger than this place, right? So it's like being at a amusement park. Boom, you're bigger than this place. Is you're having a good time. You're about to try the rides, try the cotton candy. Woo, your arms up, you trying the rides and shit. You feel me? You getting the what's that? What was the thing? The pretzel thing or whatever it used to be, right? Put trying to pull chicks and shit. You at Astroworld, teenager and shit. That's this whole thing, childlike spirit, right? So when you see the children, they're adventurous, they're exploring, they're not taking themselves too serious. And that's the true power and your true being, getting back to that place of the childlike spirit, which is divine cosmic love. I'll make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. I'll make love to you. Y'all know what it is, Patreon family. Peace to the gods.